Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Loose Change. It's your boy, The Show Off, and I'm back with another video. Alright, so we're going to start off this video with a little bit of a game, alright? I'm going to say a couple words. And I want you to, out loud, say whatever the first thing is that comes to your mind, okay? Y'all ready? Alpha. Okay, y'all got that one? Yin. Start. Alright. So there are actually some correct answers. And then there's some wrong answers. Of course. When I said alpha, if you came back and you said beta, you're a big part of the problem. When I said yin, if you didn't say yang, you're a big part of the problem. When I say start, if you say finish, you're in the game. If you said anything other than that, you need to seek help. But anyway, today we're going to talk about Kevin Samuel. And the reason I started with those words is because if you use the word beta when I said alpha, which is the main one that I wanted to focus on. If you look, we're going to start with yin and yang. Yin and yang goes together, all right? If you said beta when I said alpha, you're a negative thinker, okay? If you said omega, you're with me. See, a lot of these women are out here and they're starting lately. I've been seeing so many people talking about Kevin Samuel and his message, and mainly women posting about Kevin Samuel and his message. And I gotta say that it's kind of bothersome to see so many women missing the point because they get so caught up in themselves and believing that every conversation applies to them, okay? So, alright. I've watched a few, I've caught probably about 8 to 10 Kevin Samuel videos, y'all. Pardon the lighting, I'm almost at home or whatnot. But I've caught about, and there's a reason that I did this video at this time. But I caught about 8 to 10 of his videos, alright? And through watching those videos, I noticed pretty much his consistency. Pretty much what he believes, he rides with it. He's very consistent with what he says. But I also noticed a whole lot of things. Now, first of all, let me say this. I don't agree with every single thing the brother says, all right? But even the shit that I don't agree with, see, the problem that we have nowadays when we have conversation, period, about anything is you don't have to agree with everything to understand where someone is coming from. Alright? You don't have to agree with everything someone says in order to know exactly what direction they're coming from. So the one thing that I do disagree with him on is the things that he says makes people high value. For men, he likes to refer to high value men as men who make a certain amount of money. And for women, he likes to refer to women who look a certain way as a high value woman. All right. So for me, I believe that being a high value person is none of the above, okay? I believe that being a high value person depends on your character, your heart, who you are, and what drives you, okay? That is, to me, what a high value person is, all right? Now, with that being said, that's pretty much the one thing I disagree with. Ladies, when you're watching this man, please keep in mind that this man is usually having a conversation with someone, all right? He's generally having a conversation with someone and asking and answering questions based off what this person is saying that they want, okay? So if you are not in any realms with your wants and needs of what this woman is saying, his answers do not apply to you, okay? If you would be happy with a man who makes $75,000 to $100,000 a year, the majority of the women who come onto his show are asking for men who make $250,000 to 200 to 350 to 400 to 500K a year. All right, these answers are different for you. Your requirement is that someone be in the top 15% of men when it comes to annual income. Their requirement and what they're looking for is someone to be in the top 1%. Okay? So his answer is in regards to the top 1%. Okay? What he's telling these women, and the main problem that that women have with him and his message and what he says is, how dare a man or anyone tell a woman that someone feels like they're too good for them? All right? Especially since really the allure of these women who watch Kevin Samuels, the allure that they have is what this man clearly looks like he has. All right? So remember something. Because a lot of women are out here attacking men as if we're followers of this dude or worshipers of this dude or whatever the case may be. Now, remember something. This man has over 1 million followers, y'all. And the vast majority of the people who are following him, I don't follow him, by the way. The vast majority of the people who are following him are women. The vast majority of the people who call into the show, and I've never actually seen a man call into the show in the 10 episodes, 8 to 10 episodes but if there is one, I don't want to speculate because I'm no expert and I don't just sit back and watch his shit all the time. But there's always women calling in, okay? So believe it or not, he's exposing something else and I'll get back to it a little bit later. He's actually exposing something else about you ladies that I already knew and a lot of men already knew, but whatever. I actually have it in one of my videos. But a lot of you ladies don't like the fact that he's telling you that there's actually someone who might be too good for you. And it's amazing because this comes from the women who had at some time have ignored someone via social media, who may have reached out to them and tried to have conversation with them, and they're not attractive enough for them, or you feel like you're too good to have a conversation with someone. Or you may have been one of those people who has posted, look at me, and then look at you, and ask yourself, does it make sense before you hit me up? You may be one of those women, or whatever the case may be. In other words, it's a pretty good chance that I'm too pretty for you to even match up and be with me. Okay? So enter this man who says the same thing about a certain type of man to you, and you don't like that. Now, that is the main reason why you don't like this guy's message, all right? Now, you will create a facade and say, hey, well, he's rude, he's abrasive, he's this, he's that, all of these negative connotations or whatnot. All right, this is the part that I said I'm gonna get back to. First of all, I don't think he's rude at all. I think he's honest. I think he's a straight shooter, and I think he refuses to tell you what you want to believe. He's just being honest with you. He refuses to tell you, yo, I agree with everything that you're saying, like most people. All right. If you were to watch my videos, most things that I say in my videos are things that has said. Most things. His tactics obviously work because he has 1 million followers. Even though we're saying a lot of the same things, he has 1 million followers. 1 million followers, with the majority of them being women. Now, when you look at that, you might say, ladies might say, I want a sweet, gentle man, someone who is romantic, so on and so forth. But look what you're attracted to when it comes to this guy that you consider to be rude and abrasive. That attracts you, okay? So that's where you're being exposed. A lot of women say that they want certain things, but they really don't want that. They're not attracted to that. But let me keep going for a minute, y'all. This man is basically explaining to ladies who are coming on and asking for these so-called high-value men. This man is essentially telling you the truth. First of all, how do you get a seat at the table to even meet this guy? Where are you going to go to meet this guy? You're not going to meet this guy at the club. You're not going to meet this guy. You're not going to go to a museum and meet one of these guys, because these guys go to museums accompanied by somebody. Where are you going to actually be able to meet this person? So even if you should come across this person, these are the things that you may have working against you. These are women. Most of those women who I've seen calling in have a child or two, sometimes 3 or whatnot. This is why he won't. First of all, he doesn't want anyone running around his house that is not of his bloodline other than his woman. All right? Secondly, he talks about your attitude. He's a boss. Everything that he does in life, he's the boss. He's in charge. He makes $400, like you could put that together. He makes $400,000, $500,000, $1 million a year. You can pretty much figure that this man is the boss of some people. All right? So he lives his life in that way. He answers to very few people. Do you think he's going to want to come in to his own house and answer to you? All of that stuff, this is why all of that stuff that you think is going to get you at the table, your degrees and all of that stuff, won't get you there. A lot of ladies say, well, they want the 21-year-old woman. What he actually wants is the woman that comes from money. All right? She may not have had to do anything in life up until then because her family has money. All right? Which leads me to this point. Ladies, a lot of y'all be complaining about these athletes who get white wives and things like that. And y'all say, oh, it's because she's weak and she's this and she's that. There's a pretty good chance that if she is a white woman and she got a seat at the table, she comes from money. All right? It's not really about wanting a white woman, okay? It's really about wanting someone who is not as impressed by the thing, someone who is more possibly willing to be there for him rather than the things that he has, all right? Next. The next thing is simply this, y'all. This man is looking for a wife to come in, be a housewife, be taken care of, but to take care of the house and his kids. The reason why I utilize those words at the beginning, alpha, omega, not alpha and beta, alpha, omega. A man, any man who's looking to bring you into his life as not someone who wants to fuck you, not someone who wants to um, date you, but any man who is looking to bring you in your life and make you something, make you a permanent fixture in your life, they need you to complete them. And that's all the man is saying. You have to be able to bring what he needs to the table. Whatever if he needs you to bear his kids and to take care of his kids, that's what he needs you to do. If he needs you to be a homemaker, that's what he needs you to do. And at that point, when he's crossed hundreds of thousands of dollars per year, in his mind, I deserve to have exactly what I want. And when Mr. Samuels is talking about your attitudes, bosses don't want to bump heads with anybody. What I say goes. He lives that in his profession, and he lives that in his life. Okay? It's almost like dating royalty in their mind. I'm not calling them calling those people royalty, but in their mind, they look at themselves as the king of the domain. All right? Will you be willing to fully submit to that person? Probably not. Um, will you be willing to drop everything to be with him? More than likely, no. Because this modern woman thing kind of requires you to have your own thing going on. All right? And finally, listen, he's not telling you that you can't have the life that you want. What he's telling you is if you have all of these things working against you, your attitude, your outlook on what it is that you want, how you want to get it. Like if a man is making $400,000, he don't want you going out working and making 50,000, 60,000. That shit is pointless. And men, he says this on several videos that I've seen. He says that men aren't moved by your money because guess what? A man is always expected to pay. So why, if I make this kind of money, why do I need you to work? What, your money is of no consequence to me. All right? So understand this, and I'll let y'all go because this is a long video. Understand this. You can have that life. And this is what this man is saying. You can have that life that you want. Be prepared to get someone who is closer to your level and be prepared to build that. Be prepared to contribute to that. Be prepared to work hard to get that. That life that you want, that lifestyle, those things that you want. All of it, be prepared. That's the simple message that he now, like I said, listen, when that person is asking that question, the answers are specific to that person. When you have a communications specialist who makes $45,000 to $50,000 a year, thinking that she deserves a man who makes 250, $250,000 a year, what do you have going on that's going to get you to the table to meet that man? Because he goes to specific spots. You dig? He goes to specific places. His life is well planned out. Take this for whatever it's worth to you. Look at what I said about high value people, and that'll have you figuring yourself out and your plight out. When you start judging people value on the effort that they give you, the how they treat you, how they make you feel. Once you start, and just the fact that they will give you all of themselves, then you may fall in love, then you may get married, and then God may start blessing you. God will start blessing you with all of those things that you want. And you will love it, and you will respect it, and you will honor all of those things because you helped build it. Show off.